Morning. So we're back for another episode on the Peugeot partner, so let's roll the intro. Okay, so pretty much we left off with the cylinder head going away for machining and the bottom end then starting to be cleaned and stripped down to get it painted. So jobs for today are pretty much going to be get the last of the auxiliaries off the engine block, get it cleaned up, and then yes, we are going to give it a lick of paint. So I don't see the point while I've got the cylinder head off and while I'm replacing other bits in not painting it. I may as well make it look pretty. I'm not going to bother with actually painting the engine bay on the partner. Again, I'll probably regret it later on, but this is a works vehicle. I need to get it back and on the road in a hurry. And at the moment, I do actually have the time to paint the cylinder block because the cylinder head isn't actually back from machining yet. So that's been away for a week now. Phoned the machine shop up this morning. They haven't even looked at it yet, so they've got a backlog of work. Might as well take advantage of it and get other things looking pretty while I can. Right, so as you saw in that time lapse, we are now bare engine block on the front. I will be leaving the sensor in here just to keep that hole plugged up, and I will have to make some kind of bungs or something to quickly chuck in all of these oil galleries. But yeah, so that's pretty much the front end done. I can't actually remember what is left on the rear end, to be honest. I don't think there was a lot. We will flick this up. Yeah, pretty much nothing on the back here as well, so I've just got this RPM sender I can remove permanently because we won't be using that on the Peugeot partner. But yeah, apart from that, pretty much there, so I'll be cracking the wire wheel out in a little bit. Finish getting some of this loose rust off, like there's loose rust down here in the corners of the block and stuff like that. And there we go, managed to flick that bit off. But yeah, get this down as much as I can so there's no loose bits on it. I don't bother priming these, I just hit them with pretty much brake caliper paint. So brake calipers get a damn sight hotter than what an engine block will do. So that'll be more than good enough. Just take off a lot of the surface rust, whatever I can. And then yeah, I'll be masking up the important bits and giving her a lick of paint. I will probably clean the top of the deck up as well first, so I can actually run masking tape over this and keep it sealed up for the duration of doing everything else. Later on, I will be aiming as well to take the pan off, but I feel like I might as well just get it painted, to be honest, first. Right, well, I've decided I'm going to do the deck surface first so I can actually get this masking taped up and off before I start painting and stuff like that. Stop anything else dropping down into the bores. So easiest way of cleaning it, just get a Stanley blade and literally just scratch across. You know, Stanley blades are nice and flat, so that should knock off any high spots along here. Of course, at the end, you will still have like levels of corrosion like this. It's not going to focus, is it? So there is little bits of corrosion. You can see like here where the old gasket is settled and stuff like that. All I'm going to do afterwards is just hit it with a little bit of 400 grit sandpaper. I'm not in it to actually dig into the surface here. All I'm doing is keying the surface so the new head gasket has something clean to adhere to. So we're not trying to take any of these high spots out or anything like that. Just be nice to get some clean colour back along the cylinder head itself. And yeah, I say cylinder head, I mean block surface. You guys know what I mean. Okay, so that's the deck now cleaned. So I've just put some 400 grit sandpaper over. Not gone too mad because I'm not aiming to change the height of the deck at all. It's literally just to clean it up. So as you can see, we have indeed, and I'll just quickly zoom in. We have indeed got some pitting across the block, but at the same time, there's nothing to worry about. So the main thing I wanted to do, and wherever it has now gone. Okay, I've lost it. So I had a Stanley blade and all I was doing is just going along the Stanley with a Stanley blade, because I know it's nice and flat, and just making sure it snags on nothing along this deck surface. So once I did that, I knew that would be clean enough. I then finished off by using a feeler gauge. My top end tolerance is, and she's not going to stop waving about, 0.5 mil. Oh, sorry, 0.5 mil, 0.05 mil. And then a rather questionable straight edge. This one has been abused quite a bit, and just gone along the deck, literally in between studs, in between the cylinders, checking to see how much warpage is along the deck. So just going along one at a time, trying to slip the feeler gauge in the middle here just to check for flatness. Then obviously gone across it that way as well, but these ones aren't so critical as in between the cylinders. Now, straight edge, this one is very questionable. So go one way, it's absolutely fine, the tolerance is good. Go the other way, it just slips under. Now, I'm not going to lose too much sleep over this. It's an old cast iron block. We're not going to be pushing this one too hard. And to be fair, it is on the cusp of needing... Ooh, got ice cream man again. It is on the cusp of needing to be decked, but I'm not going to deck it. This is getting sent. So, next thing's next. I'm going to have to flip her over upside down, pull the rags out of the bores, just spray some brake cleaner up there and try and get any dust or anything which is settled down on the sides of the rings out of there now. Right, now I don't know if this tip is teaching anyone to suck eggs, but you want to mask and tape the deck block off, complicated shape, trying to drag a Stanley knife around it, you're blunting the Stanley knife, and yeah, it's a pain in the ass to cut out. Easiest way, just get a bloody file. Literally, just run a file around the edge, and there we go. It's just cutting it as easy as that, and contours. Voila. Right, now this next bit, nothing special. Literally just going to be prepping the block to get it painted. So just going to start wire wheeling it. You can have another time lapse. Let's get on with it. So yeah, I didn't actually get too far into that. As you can see, the amount of dust which is kicking up, it's getting me right in the face. Breathing it in already. Usually working on these pumps, it's bad enough. I'll have all this stuff up my nose for absolute days. So I'm not usually one for wearing breathing masks or anything, but I think this time I'm going to have to chuck in the towel and actually give in to it. So I do actually have a couple of masks sat around, so I'll get one of them on, and we'll continue getting that block cleaned up. Okay, so that's the bottom end pretty much scrubbed off now. So gone over it with a wire brush and everything. Just finished it off with some brake cleaner and just masked and taped everything up. I don't want to get any paint on, so pretty much there. Just going to wait for the brake cleaner to definitely dry. Might shine the blowtorch over it to make sure there's no oil residues left. But we are pretty much now ready to mix the paint up and paint the bottom end of the block. Later on, I will be opening up the deck, so I'll probably give the sump a lick of paint as well. Crank seal on this end, I think it is actually given way. There was a fair amount of oil just caked around here, so I reckon that's been weeping for some time. Same as the other one on this end, so afterwards I'll do both crank seals, but for now we'll get a lick of paint on and let us start hardening. coat of paint on. That's literally taken 40 minutes. Of course, you're not going to see that in the time lapse, but yeah. So first coat of paint, it's pretty blotchy. Let's flip the camera around and we'll go have a look. So this is literally first coat of paint on, and you can see it's pretty porous, but of course we've got no primer, we've got no base coating on there, so effectively this is our base coat. Now I've got probably enough in there to do one more coat, so I'm going to coat that top end up again and then we'll let her dry for a bit. Right, so I finally got the engine painted, and as you can see in the background, it's actually very, very red. In fact, it's not even showing up on the camera properly. The camera makes it look a sort of pinky colour, which is a bit weird. So I'll flip the camera around and we'll have a proper look. So I'll start off by showing you the paint gone off in the lid I was using. And yeah, that's like a proper in-your-face lipstick red. It's weird. Don't know how to describe it. It's called Rosso red, but yeah. It's definitely red. I did say I wanted it red. So it's interesting. I've done 2 coats on the front of the block at the moment, and I've only done 1 on the back. So I want to give this 24 hours to cure. But of course, if anyone's worked with like brake, engine enamel, paint, they'll know that this likes to run like an absolute motherfucker. Probably should have heated the block up a little bit to stop it running so much. But yeah, there we go. It's on there now. So I'll leave it slightly laid back so the paint doesn't run so much. And then I'll probably come back in 24 hours and give it another coat. So I reckon with that, I've got enough paint to do sort of 1 more coat on the back and 1 more coat on the front. Don't think I'm going to want much more than that, to be honest. The back, I'm literally not too bothered about, to be honest. It's just to seal it. Plus, when my MOT tester goes underneath, it looks slightly prettier for him. He actually can see I've put the effort in with it, so that's the main thing, and it keep your MOT tester happy. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything on the block today. I haven't really got a lot all else I can do. I've got a collection of parts in the back of the Beamer, so I'll go get them in now actually. So the parts collection is nothing too exciting, it's just some more OEM stuff. Yes, after swearing about them so much, I have gone back to another Gates cam belt kit. Last cam belt kit I ordered, so I had that FIA water pump what I bought, and I thought, oh great, I'll go over to FIA cam belts from now on. Couldn't find any Daco, couldn't find anything like that. It arrived, and literally the water pump, the impeller on the water pump looked like it was made from pressed out sheet steel. It was ridiculously poor quality, so that went back, and I'll go back to Gates. At the end of the day, I think the main reason this failed is a combination of I ran it dry, which any mechanical seal is going to fail in that condition, and of course the overpressurized, sorry, getting tongue-tied, the overpressurization. Yeah, I'm sure you can gather what I mean. Next, so get rid of that bag, there we go. So, a 2-to-1 collector. Now, this one seems a bit of a daft thing, but so usually you would use this on headers and everything to put 2 banks into 1 exhaust. I'm going to use it the other way around. I was saying about making some shotgun tips or something. This is probably my easiest way of doing it. So this needs a polish up. It's the finest Chinesium I could find on eBay. So I think this was about 20 quid. TIG welds aren't too bad on it, so I'll just give that a polish really. And then yeah, I'll put 2 shotgun tips on the end, and I don't really know how long we're going to go with them. Probably something fucking ridiculous, to be honest. I'd almost fancy them like sticking out nearly a foot long on the bumper. So obviously the collector part is going to be hidden right back. Everything's going to be polished. Might even do like slash cut. So, but yeah, that's some stupidity to play with. All I'll probably, well, I say all I'll probably do, I keep looking at this and I don't like how far away these two banks are from each other, so I am tempted to just chop the welds, chop down the centre there, and just take a sliver of metal out so I can get these two closer. But we'll see how much I can basically be bothered with. If not, it'll get slung on as two shotgun tips. And then beyond that, it's just some more basics, so oil filter, fuel filter, and then some glow plugs. Got pretty much all the gaskets and everything I need for it. I've got head bolts down here in amongst all the shit. So we are just going to stick standard Irving head bolts in. We're not going too major with the tuning, so they should suffice. I've got the 806 clutch. I still need to find a fork to suit that gearbox, so that'll be the next thing. I've got a stash of gearboxes hidden back here. I've got like 2 litre HDI box and stuff like that, so I should have the correct fork to then convert this gearbox over after it's had a decent clean, I think. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at now. I am waiting for that cylinder head to come back. I think the only other thing I really want to do to it is the original oil cooler. Obviously it's the slightly skinnier model, and if we go down the back here, I believe I have got some of the fat bastard ones off the later models. So these come on like 2 litre HDIs and stuff like that. It's something, it seems a little bit daft, but it's just additional coolant I can offer the engine. So it's one of them. While I'm there, I'll give it to it. And yeah, so literally that's got to come off at some point. I will just spray it black, neaten it up. And I think I'm going to swap over to this newer style of oil breather housing as well. Just, they look a lot cleaner. The earlier ones, I say like the ZX, I think 4x5s and stuff like that. There's a lot of erms in here, are all on these spring clips, and I don't really like the look of them, to be fair. They look really dated, and yeah, if I've got them, I might as well stick them on. So, but yeah, so this has been a pretty slow day, and all you've successfully watched me do is paint a block, and well, we've been watching paint dry together. So, but it's all these little steps which are gonna make the build a little bit better. I keep calling it a build. It's not really a build, is it? It's sort of an OEM plus thing. So, in essence, yeah, it's an engine what shouldn't be in the vehicle, but it's pretty much a straight swap if you know what you're doing. So, there you go. What can you say? Still, something cool. It's going to make a cool little daily hack for me. So, as per normal, guys, cheers for watching. Give us a like and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. And I will see you later. I'm going to go tidy up.